Hello, welcome to my kitchen. My name's Bailey. I am the owner of Harvest Table Nutrition. I'm a registered dietitian and chef living in the beautiful Thornbury area. I help and empower busy non-cooks create delicious and healthy plant-based meals. I offer nutrition coaching as well as one-on-one and group cooking classes. You can follow me on social media at Harvest Table Nutrition on Instagram and Facebook, and you can learn more about me and my services at my website, Harvest Table Nutrition. Today, we are going to make a yummy soup and sandwich combo. So in your kits, you should have gotten the ingredient list as well as the recipe. We are going to make the chickpea tuna step-by-step together today. I have already made the soup, but I'm going to show you what the final result should look like. Let's get cooking. Everything you're going to need for your chickpea tuna. You're going to need chickpeas. I always use canned. You can get no salt added. It just means that the sodium is much less than regular canned chickpeas. I've put them in a sieve and I've rinsed them so that they are ready to go. You're also going to need some curry powder, mayo. You can use regular mayo. I prefer the plant-based vegan mayo. Some lettuce. You'll need half an apple and your bread of choice. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do is you're gonna take your chickpeas and you're gonna put them in a bowl. You can either mash them with a fork or a potato masher. I usually use a fork. I find I have better control with it. So you're just going to go around and mash or smash your chickpeas. I usually leave about a quarter of them unsmashed just because I prefer the texture and the look of having full chickpeas, but you can mash them all, you can mash less, totally up to you. You'll notice that the skins do come off, but that's okay. They'll all get incorporated once we kind of start adding all of our ingredients. So I prefer this dish, obviously, to tuna because I am plant-based. So once everything comes together, I find that it has a very similar flavor and consistency to tuna. So it's a great option for anyone that doesn't want to eat fish, is completely plant-based, or wants to start incorporating more plant proteins into their diet. Chickpea is a great source of plant-based protein as well as fiber. So this is a super quick and easy and flavorful meal that you can have for lunches or dinners. You can also add it on top of a salad. Sometimes I do that. So it can be very, very versatile. So I've mashed most of my chickpeas to my liking. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add our mayo. So about 2 tablespoons. More or less depending on the consistency and flavor that you want. But basically you just want everything to hold together. I would say that looks pretty good. And then we're gonna add our curry. So the alternative for my main flavors in this dish are curry and apple, but you can definitely omit both the curry and the apple, and you can have celery in there, pickles if you want, just salt and pepper, just mayo, completely and totally up to you. So about a teaspoon worth, again, depending on how much curry you like, and that gets mixed in. Because these chickpeas are no salt added, chances are we're gonna need to add a little bit of extra salt and pepper just because there's no extra salt or sodium that's coming from the chickpeas themselves. If you're monitoring your salt or your sodium intake, then no salt added chickpeas or canned products in general are gonna be ideal for you. Next, we're going to add our apple. So I have about half an apple diced just into bite-sized pieces. and that's gonna go in. You can pick any apple that you want. Again, if you're not an apple fan, you could add celery, or again, carrots, pickles, if you wanna get interesting with your flavors. We're gonna make a bit of a mess. That's what cooking is all about. All right, I'd say that looks pretty good. And the most important thing about cooking, baking, anything like that, you gotta taste it. It's gonna need a little bit of salt. This is also a super fun recipe to get kids involved because the smashing of the chickpeas is a fun activity. Perfect. Okay, now we assemble. So, bread. You can have an open face. Sometimes I do this. Open face, chickpea on, a little bit of, I use plant-based cheese, but cheese of choice, and then bake it. So you have like a chickpea tuna melt, or I'm just gonna do a regular old sandwich. I didn't have time to make my own bread, but typically I would make my own bread and then I would eat this on there. So if you wanna learn how to make bread, that is something that I can show you how to do. So we're gonna assemble. So we have our bread. We're gonna put some of our chickpea tuna on there. Again, be as generous as you want. And then, because we need some greenery in our life, I just have some mixed greens. And that is gonna go right on top. And then, voila. And to make life and eating much easier, we can cut it in half. Does that not look so good? We did good. And to go along with our delicious chickpea tuna is your red lentil coconut curry soup. This is what the final product should look like. It should be a nice deep red from the canned tomatoes. I added kale instead of spinach just because I had kale, and I sprinkled some extra red chili flakes on top because I prefer a little bit of extra heat. But this is the perfect meal combination for a balanced and very filling lunch or dinner, soup and a sandwich. Enjoy.